Good morning, everyone. Peace and blessings. My name is Amina, and I'm the struggling gardener here in North Carolina, Zone 8A. And in this episode, just inspecting the garden. It's early, so I want you to come, inspect the garden and come grow with me here on my patio. Okay, so as you can see, I no longer have my patios furniture. My apartment complex has decided that they wanted to do a power wash of the building. So I had to move the stuff off the patio. I'm not sure when they're going to get around to my building, but I hope that it's quick. I'm not moving all of these pots in my house. I do not want any surprise bugs, any surprise frogs or toads popping up in my house. So I'm thinking about when they do get here, putting it over back here with the other plant. So here's what we got going on. Just trying to inspect the garden. Uh, this is the celery. I did separate it, and it's taken. It's looking good. I love it. Um, I know I said that I wasn't gonna give up on the cucumbers, but I'm giving up on them. This is the last one standing. It's a lemon cucumber. I'm gonna let it do what it do. The others I pulled because there was some pest. There was some pest eating at them, but also I had sprayed them with the neem oil. I had diluted the neem with some soap and water. But I think that the neem burnt the leaves. I did do it in the morning and in the evening, not during the day, but maybe I used too much neem. I don't know. I don't know how much neem to use when it comes to diluting, but I think that maybe I had used too much neem. So I pulled them. They looked like they weren't even going to survive. So I'm done with the cucumbers. We'll see what that lemon cucumber does. And I'm just going to focus on what I have for now in the garden as my fall seedlings continue to grow. Um, so yeah, so here we have this pepper plant, which looks like it's also getting eaten up by the pests, but we'll see. Not too concerned because I have a few other pepper plants. These are my chards coming up, and some kale, but mostly chard. Here's the cilantro. Here's this wild flower bed of just wildflowers, nasturtiums, calendulums. I don't know. I just threw a bunch of seeds in there to see what would happen. Here is another pepper plant with the bean. It's growing, so I'm happy about that. Another pepper, the chard. Here are the two beets. They're still going. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a beet out of it. I still do not see the head of it, but we'll see. I'll let it keep going. Here's another tomato I transplanted. This originally had a cucumber in it that I pulled and I replaced it with the tomato. I believe it's a super sweet or whatever you call it. The basil, some more basil. So I actually bought this basil in the house to trim it, and to my surprise, there was a toad in there, as you can see the pocket, which is why I am not bringing this stuff in. I love the toads, but I do not want them in my house. I have the tomato, so as you can see, it is flowering. And I try to come out here throughout the day to kind of, tap it. For those who don't know, tomato plants, they self-pollinate. But you do want to come out and tap it. I don't see many bees out here. But I'm not home during the day, so I'm not sure what activity happens on this tomato plant. So I'm hoping that, eventually I'll get some tomatoes. I don't know. They started flowering about a week and a half ago, and so far nothing has come in. So we'll see. I am just a struggling gardener, praying for some type of productivity before the summer happens. But if not, I'm learning. I have a bean plant back here also. Some mint, yes, I'm growing it in its own container. And I decided to start gardening. I juice a lot, and I wanted to just, grow my own cucumbers and celeries so that I can have it at my expense without having to pay the cost, as produce is expensive. So I'm new to this. This is really, test growing period this time, just to see, what I need to do, just learn the in and outs of gardening. And cucumber was something that I really wanted to grow, that I've struggled with. I've been gardening. I started this in April, the beginning of, our last frost, and I've harvested nothing but basil. But it's okay. I'm learning a lot about my patio. I'm learning about how the sun comes out, where the sun comes out on it. So I'm just gonna leave this cucumber here, see what it does. What I realized is that I was told to use neem oil, which I did. I diluted it with some soap and water, and I noticed that, and I was spraying them in the morning, in the evening, not during the day, but I still noticed that I think it was still burning the leaves. So I don't know, maybe I was putting too much neem oil. I don't know, but neem oil right now, I'm nervous about it because my lemon cucumbers were looking good, if you've seen it in my last video. And then after a couple of days after I sprayed the neem oil, it's like the leaves just look like they were burnt. I pulled it, so I'm just gonna stick with this last one. I'm really focusing on, growing beets. Whatever I have here, I have some cilantro, I have some celery. I did separate the celery, and come take a look. Doesn't it look so much better? I cannot wait to see what the celery brings. So I do have my tomato here. I try to come out every morning because it is flowering and kind of tap it. For those, who aren't familiar, they say that tomato is a self-pollinating plant. So what you want to do is come out, just tap the flowers, shake the cage a little bit, I don't really see too many bees around here. Not to say that there aren't, but I don't really see any around my plants. Here are a few more that have not opened yet. Question, this is my first time actually growing a tomato plant. So where do the tomatoes actually develop? Do the flowers dry up and turn into the tomato? I don't know, because I've been out here for the past week doing this, and I still have not seen any tomatoes. I am trying to be patient, but I'm trying to understand where the tomatoes will start to stem and grow from. I understand that on the cucumber plant, you have the male, and then the female flowers holds the fruit. So how does that work on a tomato plant? I'm very curious. I tried to watch YouTube videos, but I'm not sure how. If anyone knows, please educate me. Your sister is trying to learn here. She's trying to learn here. I have some cilantro here. This is a flower bed I just threw some seeds in. There's calendulum, some nasturtiums, some wildflowers, just a lot of stuff going on in there. With this one, I just had some, I think it was not beets, but chard and some lettuce and some kale that I had seeded in here. Here's another pepper plant. Here's the basil. I gave it a haircut yesterday. It's another one. This is the one that I brought in the house, and as you can see, there is a little miniature hole. Yeah, the toads. I never know. I love them, but I need a heads up. I need a heads up because they always throw me off and catch me by surprise. The beets here, I don't know if I'm gonna get a beet. I don't see anything. I don't see a tip, but we'll see. I'm still letting them cook in the chard. Well, guys, this is my little tiny garden here on my patio. It's not much, but it's my much. And I just want to, I want to do these videos of my small patio because, You can garden in a small space, you know, whether it's a small backyard, a medium backyard, a small patio, or no patio, you can still do it, you know. You can container garden, you can pot garden, you know, all you need is a simple pot. You don't have to just grow anything, you grow what you need, you know. So if you're using basil, if you're using tomatoes, grow those things. It doesn't have to be one, two, three, four, five. It doesn't have to be 15 containers. I did 15 containers because I started with 2 and I got out of hand. So it doesn't have to be that many. Just do what you use. Just grow what you use. I think that for me, all of these containers came because gardening is very therapeutic for me. Very therapeutic. I have 4 children. My oldest daughter is in Jersey, I mean in Georgia, but I'm here with my 3 younger boys and it's a lot. You know, it's a lot. So this is very therapeutic for after having a long day of work, you know, mommy time, you know, so this is my me time. So I use this to help, you know, to help relax, to help be at peace. So while it is a little bit frustrating that I'm not getting the cucumbers that I want, I'm still enjoying it because I'm learning, you know, it's peaceful, it's giving me a lot of patience, teaching me to have a lot of patience, and most importantly, you know, it's increasing my spirituality. I'm learning a lot about nature and how, you know, plants work and how they, you know, how they grow, how they reproduce. So yes, if you have not yet gotten yourself a pot, some soil, a little bit of fertilizer, I strongly encourage that you do so because you will be surprised at how much you'll learn, how much you'll enjoy, and how much you'll grow. And until then, people, thank you for coming here to my channel, watching my video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And until then, see you on my next video. Peace and blessings.